Hi, I'm Carter with Diamond Hill Farm. We've been farming in the Athens, Georgia area for about 13 years. We've been growing a mixture of diverse vegetables and cut flowers, mostly for direct sale using sustainable and organic methods. We sell to farmers markets. We have our own CSA. We sell to Atlanta and Athens area restaurants, as well as florists. Currently we employ about 30 people year-round. We're growing on 2 sites and we have about 7 acres total. Over the past several years, more infrastructure has become available to farmers, especially season-extending tools like high and caterpillar tunnels. Because of that, more growers are exploring how to integrate these systems into their operations. In this video, we're going to be talking about high tunnel growing for organic systems from seed starting to harvest, so you can make the most of your high tunnel growing. Tunnels give farmers more control over their growing conditions. By protecting crops from heavy rain, wind, and extreme temperature swings, they create a more stable environment for plant growth. Tunnels also allow for season extension, meaning you can start earlier in the spring, grow later into the fall, and in some cases produce through the winter. This can improve crop quality, increase yields, and open up new market opportunities. When setting up your high tunnels, spacing matters. Be sure to leave at least 5 feet between tunnels for adequate drainage and ventilation. Without adequate spacing and drainage considerations, water can pool and ventilation may become an issue, causing long-term problems. Also, consider that maintenance of covered growing space requires removing and replacing your plastic every 5 to 8 years. As the plastic gets older, it becomes more opaque, preventing as much light from getting in. Strong crops often start with good seed production, and in many cases that doesn't happen in the field, but in a greenhouse. Whether you're direct seeding or transplanting, starting with high quality organic seeds that are conditioned for your climate or tunnel growing conditions is absolutely important. There are many organic and non-treated seeds that are bred to do well in controlled environments, and that should be indicated in the seed catalog. When starting transplants, use a clean, well-draining soil mix and maintain consistent moisture. Because greenhouses can warm up quickly, it's important to pay attention to temperature and ventilation, even at seeding stage, to prevent stress and disease. In greenhouses, ventilation is key. We keep our seedlings from overheating by using an automated fan and watering system provided by a grant from Georgia Organics. If your greenhouse isn't automated, take care to check on your seedlings daily to make sure they have enough moisture and open the doors to let out excess heat. Hanging fans from the rafters will help circulate the air and keep the inside cool. Healthy soil is the foundation in any organic system, and oftentimes things witnessed in the field can be intensified in a controlled environment. That means disease, pests, and water issues are more prone to being an issue. Therefore, starting off with good quality soil is very important. Before planting, prepare your beds by incorporating compost or other organic matter to improve soil fertility and improve soil structure. Broad forking or shallow tillage can help loosen the soil without significantly disrupting soil life. In high tunnels where rainfall doesn't naturally irrigate or leach the soil, it's especially important to monitor nutrient buildup and soil health over time. You may need to take the plastic off of tunnels that are older to control the buildup of salt in the soil. This process is called leaching. Also consider that amendments will be burned through faster in covered space because of the heat that's generated within the high tunnel. We monitor our soil's health by performing annual soil tests and amending based on its recommendations. To learn more about soil testing, check out Georgia Organics' Love is Love Cooperative Farm Spotlight on YouTube. Finally, we recommend cover cropping your high tunnels whenever possible. Consider doing this in the high summer if you have multiple houses. This will give your soil a chance to rest and recuperate. Here I'm holding our farm's master crop plan. This entails lots of planting with the staff. In collaboration with me, we plan out the entire season based on past year's successes and failures. We have seeding dates, planting dates, bed numbers, field numbers. Anybody on staff can look at this book and know what to do and where to plant something. A clear crop plan is essential in high tunnels. Because space is limited, every bed should be planned and planted intentionally. One of the benefits of growing in high tunnels is that you can often plant plants more densely due to the controlled environment. To get the most out of our space, we utilize companion planting in our crop plan. This type of high-intensity planting requires heavy planning and forethought, which is why we use a detailed crop plan that spans the entire season. To build out this plan, we start backwards, looking at our harvest date and working back to the seeding date. From there, we map out transplanting windows, bed turnover, and which crops can overlap without competing too heavily for nutrients, light, or space. This allows us to pair slower growing crops with quick turn varieties, keeping beds productive at all times. By the time one crop is finishing up, the next is already established, helping us maximize yields, reduce weed pressure, and keep a steady flow of harvest-ready produce throughout the season. Follow your crop plan for timing, spacing, and succession planting. Keeping on schedule will reduce gaps in production and ensure that you have a steady harvest. High tunnels are ideal for high-value crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, greens, and flowers, but success depends on keeping everything organized and staying on schedule. Maintenance in your high tunnel will be hands-on, but manageable with good systems. You'll need to monitor irrigation closely since crops rely entirely on you for water. Drip irrigation is a common choice for efficiency and disease prevention. Ventilation is also key. Open sides or end walls to regulate temperature and humidity, especially during warmer months. Like a lot of our activities here on the farm, safety is a consideration that needs to be a high priority. With these high tunnels, you have roll-up sides or roll-up doors, and you just need to make sure you take extra care, learn how to do it safely so that your risk of injury or anybody on your staff's risk of injury is lowered. And just want to make sure that, like everything we do, you're taking care of yourself while you're farming. And avoid pinching your fingers. You want to maintain control of the bar as it is raised and lowered without releasing it. And secure it when finished. Many people also use shade cloth to cool off the inside of a hoop house in the summer months. Typically in Georgia, a 30% shade cloth is great for letting in light while providing some shade without causing the plants to stretch to reach the light. Also, regular pruning and consistent crop monitoring will improve airflow, especially in the denser plantings in your high tunnel. It'll help reduce disease pressure. Many high tunnel crops benefit from vertical growing. Trellising keeps the plants off the ground, improves air circulation, and makes for an easier harvest. Tomatoes, cucumbers, and pole beans are commonly trellised using string, netting, or wire systems. Keeping plants upright reduces disease risk and maximizes your growing space. If you plan on trellising within your covered growing space, you'll want to make sure the house you purchase is either Gothic style or has a metal frame that can support plant weight. To learn more about trellising techniques, visit Georgia Organic's YouTube page and search for the Oxford College Organic Farm Spotlight. Harvesting crops in high tunnels produces higher yields. Crops are typically cleaner, more uniform, and less weather damaged, which will improve shelf life and quality. Harvest early in the day when temperatures are cooler and crops are fully hydrated. This early harvest should be prioritized in covered non-temperature spaces as things will get hotter there than out in the field. This helps maintain quality, improves shelf life, and reduces post-harvest stress on the plants. Keeping a consistent harvest schedule also encourages continued production, especially for crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, and greens. Today we covered the full cycle of high tunnel growing in an organic system, from starting strong with organic seed preparation in a greenhouse, to building healthy soil and prepping your beds, to following a detailed crop plan that maximizes every inch of precious covered space. We talked about how high tunnels create a more controlled environment for season extension and how proper spacing between tunnels supports good drainage and airflow. We also walked through the day-to-day management of a tunnel, including irrigation, ventilation, and pruning, along with techniques like trellising considerations and high-intensity intercropping to improve yields and reduce weed pressure. And finally, we looked at harvesting where all that planning and care pays off with earlier, cleaner, and more consistent production. Every farm's different, but utilizing covered and controlled environments on your farm can make a huge difference for productivity. Start simple, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to adjust your approach as your farm changes. When in doubt, you can look into NRCS grants for conservation funding as well.